I'm frequently asked, Steele, who would be on your dream team? And I never really answer the question because I feel like it's a stupid question. There's too much that will go into it, and I could prepare a dream team. I could take the time to really sit down and think about who would be a really good dream team, like what would be a really sick roster. At the end of the day, I'm not going to give you the answer that you want to hear because my idea of a dream team would be something that I take a lot of time to think about. I want to make sure that the in-game leader works a really good system with the rest of the players that they have, and the players all get along with in terms of personality. They'll mesh well in terms of players. They have the right roles and the right balance of roles. I want to make sure that there'll be enough like communication going on, not enough like you want to weed out all the people that are like too quiet. You don't want to have too many players that are too quiet. You don't want to have too many star players. So I'd really take the time to think about like who would actually work in a roster. And it's just not something that I really want to go down the path of because I'm going to players and then people are going to be like, well, why would you have this player, not this player on your team? Or why would you, and I just don't care about doing all that shit because it's just going to be a massive ball ache, which I don't want to go through. You can't ask a pro player who would be on their dream team because they're not going to give you an honest answer. They're either going to say, well, my current team's my dream team, and that's bullshit because they secretly don't want to have someone on their team or think they can upgrade to someone else. And there's going to be animosity and they're going to create a rift if they say anything but their current rosters. So you'll never get an honest answer from a pro player. And then if you ask someone just randomly on Reddit or in the Twitch or CS community in general, they're going to give you some bullshit answer about like 5-star players that they think are really sick. Like, oh, I would put like Simple and Shroud and Forest and Get Right. And it's like, what the fuck kind of roster is that? Like, first of all, they don't even speak the same language, not all of them, or not fluently, or, you know, there's going to be some sort of language barrier first and foremost. You don't know how the hell their personalities are going to kind of go together. Who's going to in-game lead? Like, the roles, the chemistry, the personalities, they're going to be so different. Like, the roster's not going to work out. Cool, you can jerk off about it and be like, oh my god, like, Simple, like, best player in the world is going to be playing with Forest and Get Right, and it's going to be such a sick... It's like, dude, that roster's not actually going to work. You can jerk off to it all you want, but that roster's going to be complete fucking dog shit. So you can't stick 5-star players on a team because the 5-star players, it doesn't work. You have 1, maybe 2-star players on a team, and that works really well because the star players are supported by the rest of the team that can make them be the star players that they are. If you have 5-star players on a team, you're not going to have 5-star player performances. You're going to have 2 or 3 of them being like relegated to support roles so that the other 2 or 3 people can play really well and be those star players that you expect them to be. Then guess what? Now you're not having 5-star players, you have 2 or 3-star players and then 2 people that are relegated to shit roles, and you're like, why can't this guy perform? Well, because they're not in a good environment to perform. So those fucking examples are stupid as fuck too. And then you can ask like former pros or personalities, and they're going to be in the same position as me, where it's like you take the time to think about it, and at the end of the day, it's like, well, there's going to be limitations due to resources. There's going to be limitations due to like contracts. There's going to be limitations due to personalities. And you can say all you want, pretend like money's not an issue and everyone had their contracts expired and this and that. It's like, dude, come on. Like, if you ask me, Steele, what if you're suddenly unbanned tomorrow and you could pick any player to be on your team? It's like, dude, like, I'd have to sit there and think about it. And then what happens is I want to start with like 1 or 2 other players, and then I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to be like, okay, this is where we're at. We have the in-game leader. You know, we have whatever roles you guys are. You know, if I'm the in-game leader and I need like suggestions or I need someone to help me with ideas, like get me out of a, you know, tunnel visioning or something, I have you to do it. Or let's say I have no one to do it. Okay, we need to look for that type of player. And do you like this player? Like, would you get along with it? No, you wouldn't. Okay, what players would you get along with? So it's this big, deep, long process. It's not like you can just formulate a fucking team on a whim and expect it to work. It's like this long, tedious process of brainstorming and thinking like, okay, well, we can get this guy, but if we get this guy, we can't get that guy. But then if we can't get that guy, then we'll need to get someone else that can do the role that will fit with our personality. Maybe like, you know, there's a long process. You can't just be like, let's get this guy and it's gonna work. I can't sit there and be honest about a dream team like that because it's fucking bullshit. It's not going to work. So whenever people ask me like, who's your dream team? And some former pro or a current pro or some caster or other personality gives you an answer, it's all bullshit just to appease you, just to make you feel happy for the 5 seconds. But you're not going to actually expect that roster to do anything. And that's the reason why I'm just like, I don't know, dream teams are fucking stupid. They just are. There's no dream team out there that you'd actually be like, that there would be absolutely no contest in terms of like even Dave's dream team where he's like, oh, the iBuyPower roster minus me plus Stewie. It's like, well, I can see a million reasons why that wouldn't fucking work. For example, the million fucking reasons that I brought up with that it didn't work when I was on the team. Like right there, I'm just like, okay, that dream team sounds stupid as fuck. Like Days can say that all he wants, and people are gonna be like, oh, that's such a good dream team. Wow, how do you think of that? It's like, dude, it's not gonna work. The same reason why the iBuyPower team with me on it didn't work, and there's gonna be all this like back and forth. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Because one, it's not gonna happen, and two, it's gonna just cause a bunch of like disagreement and shit. It's like, okay, well, at least you're creating some sort of like meaningful discussion about it, and it's like fun to think about. It's like, great. Well, not really my cup of tea. Doesn't really make sense. You're not gonna get an honest answer from half the people you ask. The other half the people, it's not gonna even work because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It's like Semphasis' video where he's like talking about Virtus Pro and like roster changes. Quite frankly, it's like it's nice to jerk off about and think about and fantasize, but in reality, it's never gonna happen. And for that reason, I think it's a silly question to just go into and really think about it. And personally, it's not worth my time to sit there and kind of figure out this roster just to appease some people that want to know my dream team. If you want to know my dream team, I'll say current NIP roster minus Freiburg plus Rez. That's my fucking dream team. I think that's the best team in the world, and they're gonna go 87-0. Peace.